Welcome to the Slamming Door Sessions, a reality creation podcast where we slam the door to anything that is not our ideal. With your amazing hosts, Kristen M.F. Clark and authentic Cintia Sarravache. Join us in a radical embodiment of our ideal states. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Slamming Door Sessions podcast. My name is Cintia, playing with authentic Cintia and wealthy woman Cintia currently. And I'm here with the amazing Kristen M.F. Clark. And yes, thank you for joining us in another episode. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. And today, I'm going to let Kristen introduce the subject.
Don't I always? Before we... hello. Hi, everybody. Before we started this, we had several subjects we were, passionate about, feeling like we wanted to do. But yesterday, a friend of ours had posted, I'm finding it because I had it, but then I got rid of it, posted a question kind of to everybody about manifestation and who you are, who you perceive yourself to be when you're manifesting with ease versus who you perceive yourself to be when the things that you want aren't showing up. And so for me, that's like the cookie dough that I want to jump into. I love this subject because I feel that I see it from a much, much different space than the average person. And for me to shift that, number one, because see, this is what it's really about for me is, and especially recently, is to really shift the people in my world into going, oh, yes, I love that. And that's exactly what Cynthia did. She went, oh, yeah, let's talk about it. Because at first Cynthia was like, nah, she wasn't really feeling it. So I just kind of was playing with it with her. And immediately she's like, oh, yeah, when you put it like that, let's talk about it. So I was like, that's exactly what I'm going for. And she's always it. She always... exactly what I'm going for. She just rises right up to it. And of course, that's me rising up to it. But I love that. I love that. That's exactly, in my world, my state, and that's what I'm feeling for, is a state where everybody around me is like, oh, I heard your last podcast. I love what you talked about. Let's talk about that. And I, for me, that's my manifestation. And I just did it with Cynthia. And for me to see that, not go, oh, but that's not everybody. Yes, she is. She's actually everybody. That's all the only people I see right now. She is my population of the world right now because there's no other human beings around me. And so she is it. And I did it like that without even trying, without even feeling properly, without even thinking about it. And so just to give you guys a real quick understanding of manifestation for me, and then I'm going to be kind of like diving into the questions for Cynthia, is for me, I know that everything around me is a manifestation. And it's very easy to get so caught up in what we don't have that we don't see the mundane things in our life as instant manifestations. Now, is it instant as in it wasn't there a minute ago, even though you have a memory that you've had this coffee mug for 5 years? Was it really? We can go into that, and that's a black hole that you probably never get out of. Or you can just say, I remember when I wanted a thermos that I could take around with me everywhere and that fit in the perfect little spot in my car. And I got it. And I remember when I wanted these headphones and I got them. And I remember when I wanted this particular cell phone cover and now I have it. And I remember when I wanted this. This is something I put behind my back to keep me sitting up straight for the podcast. And now I have it. And to walk around your house looking at everything and going, oh my God, I remember when I wanted that. oh my God, I remember when I wanted that. And remembering when you wanted it and now you have it, now you have it, now you have it, now you have it. How many things do you have that you remember wanting? And it's amazing. It really shifts you into seeing how easy and how effortless manifestation is. It's so effortless, it doesn't even feel like manifestation. And like I was saying to Cynthia, it almost feels like it's outside of the world of manifestation. Because do we have this perception that manifestation takes work and takes time and is hard? And these things were easy. So that's not a manifestation.
I love it because it's like, oh, this is normal. And this is manifestation.
I know. And I know. And it's so funny when you look at it from this angle, you're like, what? That's preposterous. It's all manifestation. Yeah. Isn't it cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have anything you want to say besides that?
Yeah. I love what you're saying because it's something that I like to do whenever, if there is a moment when I'm feeling like, like when I'm not feeling like like God, basically. And then I start remembering like, oh, I remember when I wanted to live in France. I remember when I wanted this apartment. I remember when I imagined having a cat. And like,
and I was there for that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And like all these things that could have seemed impossible or very hard, they happened, and some of them, even before I knew what manifestation was. And now I see like, look at what I was able to do. And then that exercise helps me to get into the awareness, like recognizing I am God and I am capable of doing all these things, even though before they could have seemed like, oh, this is normal, this would have happened anyway, and all those thoughts that we might have once something manifests, it's like, oh, like it wasn't me, that it would have happened anyway, or like you said, some things feel so normal that we don't feel we're manifesting them. And then when we do not recognize that those are our manifestations, then it's kind of weird. It's kind of another way of giving our power away, not recognizing that we have it. And so when you actually own all the things that you manifest, especially the things that you manifest with so much ease that they seem normal and that they happen every day, it's so interesting, right? Because like, for example, I'm great at manifesting health. Like I am always great. And so what is the feeling, or who am I in relation to health? And then who am I in relation to anything else that feels somehow hard, or that is not natural for me, or that it's, not an everyday thing? Like, I don't even think about health, it's like, I'm always great. I don't even think about it. And yet I manifest great health every single day of my life, and I don't have to do anything about it. And so how can I translate that into other areas where that might not be like the regular everyday feeling? And it's so interesting because once you recognize that you're actually masterfully manifesting something in an area of your life, so masterfully that you don't even think about it, that you don't have to imagine for it, that you don't have to affirm, that you don't have to do anything at all, and you're masterfully manifesting it every single day. It's like, wow, when you recognize that, it's like owning that, then I think that the feeling of, look at how masterfully I manifest, look at how powerful I am. And then you can kind of go with it to that other area where maybe you don't feel that way. But yeah, I think it's so important to recognize the things that we manifest with this every single day. Yeah. And that with so much ease that they actually feel that we're not doing anything at all, that we're not manifesting, that they just are somehow happening outside of me, basically.
Yeah. Well, as you know, I always use the sunrise. I love that you used health because that is more intimate. You feel like the sunrise is for everybody. So why would we use that as an example? But, I'm trying to think of something, because was there ever a time in your life when you didn't feel like you easily manifested health? Or do you feel like you've always been that way?
No, I feel like I've always been that way. Like I have been sick when I was younger. Now, maybe when I was a child, I was sick more often, yes. But then it came a time, maybe when I was a teenager, where I just started to manifest great health all the time. But yeah, now that you say so, when I was a child, I used to be sick often, but now I don't.
So it's so amazing that the ease. Okay, we're always going to be stepping into the ease, but that ease of, oh yeah, I've always been this way. Yeah, no, that's not a manifestation because I've always been this way. I was born this this state of excellent health or whatever. So it's easy to go, well, no, you don't understand. That's not a manifestation. I've always been that way.
Yeah, can I say something actually?
Yes.
Because I just realized my first answer was, I've always been this way.
I know. I was going to bring that up. And then you manifested a different memory.
Yeah, but even what I feel is something that I also said last time in the last podcast. When you embody a state, you actually feel that you've been this way all your life. Yes. And that's what happened with Authentic Cintia. Like when I was fully embodying that state, I was like, and someone came to me and said like, oh, look how far you've come and how you're embodying this and all the things that happened. And I was like, what are you talking about? I've always been this way, right? And they said like, oh, well, remember when you started with this state? And then I remember, oh yeah, I was not like that before I decided to embody this state. And now embodying amazing health is like, I've always been this way, like it actually feels like that. And then you have to remember like, oh wait, maybe I wasn't, Yeah. But what I think also is that the more you are in a state, the more easy is not only to believe that you've always been this way, but to keep, the momentum. It's
the
like
flow.
Yeah, exactly. You embody the state in such a way, then it's automatic. You don't need to do anything. Like you are in the state, and then the state just rolls. It runs like without you having to do anything. And so I feel that with the state of health, I have embodied the state for so long and like so masterfully that I don't have to do anything. The state runs on automatic. And I feel that I've always been this way. And it's the same with Authentic Cintia. Like I no longer have to imagine or feel or whatever. Like I am Authentic Cintia and Authentic Cintia does its thing. I don't have to try anything. And I feel that it's funny because now that I'm playing with Wealthy Woman Cintia, I have found myself doing things that I didn't do before I decided to embody Wealthy Woman Cintia. Like I've been doing hair treatments, I've been doing my nails in different colors, or I've been doing things that I was not doing before. And I know that it's because Wealthy Woman Cintia is taking over, And once I fully embody this state, I am going to do these things and I'm going to feel like, what are you talking about? I've always been that way. Like I've always done my nails and like I've always done my hair. I've always done all these things. And then I'm not going to have to imagine anything to get into the state. The state is, once you're locked into a state, it's automatic and it takes you to do the things in such a natural and effortless way that then you start thinking like, of course, I'm not doing anything, because you're literally not doing anything. You're just being in that state.
Oh, we can just turn off the podcast now. Oh my God. Okay. What I would really like everybody to notice is the difference between the two people. The person who was trying to figure out if she'd ever been sick, and then when she thought about it, your talking was slow. There was a lot of pausing. There was no flow. There was zero flow. And then you jumped into that flow so easily and so effortlessly. You manifested, boom, that flow so quick. You had to literally stop me, which is not something Cintia ever does. It's the other way around. And man, you're like rocket fuel. And look how easy that was. And look how bold you were. Because just let everybody know, we were going to talk about being bold today. And we were both kind of like, and I said, oh, it's going to weave its way into this. I know it is, because it always does when you have an idea of what's going to be, this is like the biggest thing. When you have this impulse and it excites you, whether it's just a subject to talk about or something to buy or whatever, that excitement is everything. That excitement is that part of you that's that state, the state of the person who already is doing that, the state of the person who already did that, who already has that. So when you're excited to take on the wealthy woman or whatever, that excitement is her going, yeah, come on. And then, if we come in with doubts and stuff later, that's okay. That's whatever. You just go back to remembering that excitement. And that's like, man, who you just evolved, that state you just stepped into right now. Damn. Yeah. Yeah. And look how easy it was. Look how effortless it was. And you didn't need to do anything. You didn't need to do a damn thing. You just remembered, oh, all I have to do is step into that state. Not even that. You don't even have to step into the state. You don't even have to talk about states. You don't even have to acknowledge that there are states. You just are that. Wow. That was so much fun. So much for asking any of the questions. You just did it all in one. Boom. Those are so yesterday, those questions. Holy cannoli. Hold on, my knee. Oh, okay. There we go.
Bring them up anyway, because I don't know what they are.
So what our friend had posted yesterday is she quoted, notices things that you manifest with ease. What do you notice about how you perceive them? So then she goes on to saying, notice the things you manifest with these. They manifest so easily for you that it seems automatic. What do they have in common? What state are you in regards to these areas, which you've already beautifully explained? What do you notice about how you perceive the things you manifest with ease versus the things that seem harder to manifest? And it's not even so much about what do you perceive about those things, which is, some things we think are big and some things, like I said, we seem, that's always been there. But, who are you? How do you perceive yourself in relation to the things that seem easy? Oh, this has always been here. Oh, yeah, this was always there. Versus the things that aren't here, the things you want so badly. How do you perceive yourself in relation to those things?
I have to say, for me, the first thing that comes to mind is helplessness. Like,
ooh, yeah,
it's like,
as well.
Yeah, like there is this, I want this, but somehow it's out of my reach. And what do I need to do to get there,
Yes.
And I think that is the biggest difference between feeling ease and feeling something natural versus feeling that there's something that I want that is out of my reach. There is this feeling of course, when you feel helpless and when you feel that you need something that is out of reach, I think immediately this feeling of effort, like I need to put the effort and I need to imagine like 1,000 times a day and I need to affirm, and whatever I do, it might not even be enough, because it is out of reach, So whatever, I'm going to start to put this effort, but is this ever going to be enough, And so maybe today I'm affirming, but it's not working. And maybe tomorrow I'm imagining, but it's not the perfect scene. And maybe after that I am, scripting and like, oh no, but it's not enough. It's not enough. And somehow there is this effort and reaching out and trying. And I feel that is the first thing that comes to mind, it's like this feeling of not enough, this feeling that I'm helpless, and no matter what I do, it's still out of my reach,
Yeah.
I feel that's the difference for me. What about you?
Oh, you just said it all. You just said the best words. The only other word I would add in there is that desperation, that emotion of desperation. I need to have this now. It's going to make me happy. It's going to change my whole world. It's going to be everything I need. Mm-hmm. It's going to fix what's broken. It's going to fix the sense for need. I won't need anything anymore. If I win all that money, if I get all that money, if I have all that, I won't need anything anymore. And so it is, it's a whole amazing thing is it's a whole world. It's just this whole world unto itself of, I don't have it, I need it, and everything you were saying. And how do I get it? How do I get it? How do I get it? I haven't found the perfect secret yet. How do I get it? These people over here have found the perfect secret. What do they know that I don't know? I got to listen to them. I got to follow them. Yeah. And in the meantime, you're manifesting everything around you with ease. Everything without thinking, without trying. I'm sorry, you were going to say something.
Yeah, and there's also fear, of course, involved.
Huge, yeah.
And I feel like physically there is like a feeling of emptiness that somehow that manifestation is going to feel. It's going to feel something that is empty, and that I was actually feeling into that this morning or yesterday, I don't remember. The feeling, the difference in the feeling of when I'm feeling fulfilled and when I'm feeling maybe you can call it the feeling of the wish fulfilled, but there is this feeling of general fulfillment and peace that is not excitement, is not happiness, it's just this feeling of peace and completeness. Versus this feeling of something is missing within me. There is a hole that I need to fill with the manifestation that I'm trying to get. And I was just feeling into that within my body, like how does it feel different when I'm feeling like fulfilled and complete versus when I feel that I'm missing something, that my manifestation is going to make me feel a different way that I don't feel right now, that I don't have right now. I was just feeling like there is this hole in the middle of my chest.
Oh, for me, as you were saying that, I was doing the same thing. And I was like, what is it like when I wake up in the morning and I'm in this beautiful house and I'm walking from room to room, I'm walking the kitchen, there's my coffee, and I know that I'm manifesting all those things, but I'm not thinking about that. I'm not thinking even of the word manifestation. It all feels normal. And there's something, you said peace. And as you were saying peace, I'm like, normal. It's just normal. That's normal. But a manifestation of what I really want happening would be exciting. It would be outside of normal, but it very quickly becomes normal. So we're on to that next excitement. But I mean, I've got more amazing, as Cynthia knows, I've got more amazing stories of crazy ass manifestations. And yes, they make great stories. And yes, they're exciting to relive and retell and all of that. But there is something within the serenity of, oh, that's just normal. oh yeah, this beautiful house that I used to walk by and want so bad, and now I have. This is just normal. I wake up in the morning, I walk around here, or I'm outside working in the yard, and I come in. This is all just normal. And it's just, it's really amazing to feel that normalcy. There's almost this, yeah, it's not exciting enough for me. I like the excitement, just almost like a pulling away. It's not exciting enough. Do you know what I mean?
I know. I was thinking about it the other day. Like I'm taking the bus, and I was taking the bus. I was on the bus, and I was looking at this beautiful French building. I love French, like classic French architecture. And I was looking at this amazing, like, the what's it called? The chimneys, the part that you see outside of the buildings here. It's a very classic French thing, like the red chimneys peeking out of the buildings. And I was just, oh my God, they are so beautiful. But more often than not, I'm not even paying attention to them. Like, living in France to me is like, I don't even think about it, And before, when I was living in Argentina, like, this was like the craziest dream in my life, like nothing could get me more excited than the idea of living in France and having the possibility of looking at these beautiful buildings every day, and speaking this language and hearing this language all around me. Like, nothing like in my life could have been more exciting than the idea of living in France. Now I'm living here.
Like, and it's just normal.
And now it's like, it's not even a thing,
Yeah.
It's not even a thing. And now, of course,
I wonder if, just as you were saying all that, I wonder if there's a part of us that doesn't want our exciting, I want to manifest this, to become normal. I wonder if there's a part of us that wants to keep holding it out there as unattainable because that keeps it exciting. Interesting. Or again, that's just a state. And the state of, I don't have it, and when I have it, it's going to be a blast. And so you keep yourself up at this level, because I think all the time, as the wealthy woman or whatever, but for me, it's as KMFC, who is a self-made billionaire, it's just chill. It's just chill. When I was thinking about going into a friend of ours who was having a money class, I was like, I'm already that person. Why would I go into a class on how to be that person? I'm already there. And so there wasn't that excitement there. But I honestly, I love this normalcy state much better, because it's just ease. Again, it's going back to that simple, easy, and fun, but there's this ease. And I always wonder about that state where, sorry, I'm getting a call from Spectrum. Go away. There is, I think we get addicted to that. Oh, I got it. And then it becomes normal. And so we go on to the next, oh, I got it, And who would we be if we didn't need that anymore? If we already have everything?
Yeah, and that is interesting. And I think that every desire kind of comes with that feeling of excitement. But I think that there is something to that feeling. And I don't think the excitement is necessarily a bad thing or something that we actually need.
Yeah.
I think that after having the desire, you can go either in two directions. The feeling of, I have it. Yeah. And then when you get into that, when you get into the feeling of fulfillment that you already have it, then that excitement kind of fades away until it shows up in your reality, right? And you can celebrate. But I think the other way, there is kind of the fear of, am I going to get it? Like, yeah. Is it actually going to happen?
Yeah.
And I think that there's kind of game in between those two states, because if you actually have a desire and you automatically go into I'm God, I have it, it's done, boom, next thing, you don't get into this game of, oh, but is it going to happen? Oh, there is this like, oh, is it actually going to happen? And I think that is kind of the feeling that is not so great, Yeah.
I love this, because this is exactly what had prompted me to what we were going to talk about with boldness, and the other thing too. It was this space. It was like the choice in front of you. Do you sit here and play the game of when's it going to get here, or I'm not worried about it? The very fact that I have the desire means that this is yet something new I get to play with. And like you were saying, here's this great grand desire, you get it, and now on to, and that just, and that becomes normal, but that opens up the space for the next exciting, fun thing. And just, it doesn't mean you walk around in a state of constant excited anticipation. You sure as hell can. Why not? It's a lot fun place to be. But who you are naturally without effort is the person who's manifesting with ease. That's the person who's manifesting the coffee maker that you think has always been there, the refrigerator, the beautiful house, the beautiful city with the gorgeous chimneys, and all of that. That person who is so absent, you're not even aware of that state. You don't even have a name for that state. We're having a hell of a time trying to explain what that state is, because it's just you. It's just you in your natural space. And not that everything isn't natural. Everything you play with is natural. It's just that version of you that just simply is manifestation. Manifestation isn't a thing. It's who it is. You. It is you. It's just what you do every single time you blink and I see the window and a bird just flew by and I see the trees out there and the blue sky and there's some clouds because we're supposed to get rain today. All of that stuff. That version of me is manifesting all of that stuff without me even thinking about it, without me even trying or even understanding why. Just does. And being with that. Not I don't have to be. See, there's always feels like there's this action that that we're just trying to get to, we're attaining for, and it's this non-action. That version of you is just such a non-action that it's just trying to find it is like keep going. But yeah, told you this could go into a black hole.
Yeah. We've been into other black holes that were like deeper than this one. I think that just recognizing the effortlessness of manifesting, and if we accept that we can have all those desires manifest, then we can go into that feeling of it's normal and it's happened and that's what it is because that's who I am, without playing with being nervous of, is it actually going to happen? Is it actually for me? Can I actually do this? Is that game of doubt, basically. I think it's like the game of doubt.
Yeah.
And that is, it's not something that we need to play, because when we recognize that we manifest all the beautiful things that we currently have in our lives effortlessly and easily and naturally, then we can do that with everything. And then it's like that choice of, am I going to play the game of doubt, or am I just going to say no?
Yeah. No.
And I think that's where boldness come in,
Yeah. I love that you said naturally. That this part of us that just manifests, everything I've been saying so far with ease, that's natural. When I said manifestation isn't a thing, this is what I mean. It's just natural. It's as natural as breathing. It's as natural as, in fact, it's even less. I mean, breathing is less natural than manifestation, because we do it upon the minute you wake up. You're even manifesting the illusion that you're waking up.
I last week you shared your quote that we have in our little description, in our page. And actually today, my quote actually comes into it, because my quote is, manifesting is inevitable.
Yes.
Manifesting is inevitable, and it is actually even more than natural. It's inevitable. You could not stop it even if you wanted to.
God, doesn't that just free you all up? It just frees you up. This is inevitable. Why are you putting any effort into it? It's going to happen. You can't stop it. You can't get in the way of it. You can go into doubt. That's not going to slow it down. You can go into desperation. That's not going to slow it down. Go for it if you want, if that's a space you like to be in, but why? Yeah. Oh my gosh. You can go into seeking. You can go into all this work. You can go into every morning doing all these routines you feel like, and if you didn't do your routine, oh shit, now I've slowed it down. Yeah, no. Yeah, inevitable is a great word. Yeah, this is just who you are. It's, of course. And, we can play with stepping outside of time and understanding that, you're touching in with the part of you that's already there, that's already doing it. That's why you understand it's inevitable. Yeah, you could do that, because that's a fun rabbit hole to go down. Oh yeah, that was perfect. It's inevitable. Yeah. And does that just make life so much easier? So much simpler. And you just get to, like for me, I'm feeling into the house that I know will, is inevitably going to arise, the phone call that is inevitably going to arise, all of that. And just feeling into, there's definitely excitement there. There's definitely excitement. And I could analyze that excitement and talk about it and all that, but why? There's a lot more fun things to talk about. Oh, yeah, I love that. That was perfect.
Yeah.
Woo! You always settle into this like space when I can tell we're done.
Oh, you notice it.
Oh, I notice it every time. I'm like, there it is. There's
time to wrap it up.
Oh, I love it. And say it again. Say your quote again.
Manifesting is inevitable.
Inevitable.
Yeah. That's the first part. It's actually longer. Manifesting is inevitable. Happiness is a choice.
Yeah. Oh, well said. Yeah. Lovely. Ta-da. You know what? That's going to be the title of this one.
Ooh, okay.
Yes. I love that. Ta-da. Manifesting is inevitable. Yeah, manifestation. So you guys, we've said a lot of really big stuff here today. Let us know what you think. Write it down, send us an email, whatever. All our information is always below. In fact, I need to go back and start putting all that information back in. I realize, if you're watching us on YouTube, you know how to get a hold of us. If you're on Anchor, there is always a link in the description of this Slamming Door Sessions. And again, going back to who we are as the Slamming Door Sessions, we're slamming the door on anything that just doesn't feel this fun, this exciting, this easy, this simple, unless you want to play there. And as I always say, you can't be less of a god. A god can't be less of a god. So play in all those spaces of the illusion that you're less. And that's okay, because you'll get to the other side of that, as always, and go, oh yeah, that's right. I'm a god. It's no big deal. I can't slow down my manifestations. I'm amazing. All right. Anything you want to say before we end this?
Just thank you. Thank you for another amazing podcast. Thank you,
Yeah,
Kristen.
guys.
And thank you guys for being here with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yay. We'll see you guys on the next time.
Bye.
Bye.